There. Where's my chat?
Post your thing so I know where it's at.
Chat. There we go. Okay. Oh, boy. No, chat. Don't do that. Oh, man. It's a bit different from Twitch. Okay. So, first and foremost, welcome to the stream. Anybody that joins or sees this later. Today, I'll be with my buddy Val, who's working on designing a tabletop RPG system that is based off of a combination of, I would say, Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder mixed with Dark Souls / Elden Ring, etc. Those kinds of systems together. And today we'll be testing character creation and some basic combat and see how that goes. Go ahead and introduce yourself,
Nice. Hi guys, Val. Not camera friendly.
Val.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks for helping out today, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. I love TTRPGs and the like, so you know. And
What's your
I'm
YouTube
posting
stream
that
thing?
right now. So I'll post it in here under currently streaming. Play testing Val's Temporal Divinity TTRPG system.
Nice.
Okay, so let's post it there. Post it there. There we go. Yeah. You might want to mute that stream. Thanks, dude. Much appreciated. I'm actually surprised. In the last few weeks here or whatever, I went from, I think I had only like 8 subscribers. Now I have like 30 some subscribers. And I know that's not huge compared to what a lot of people expect and or have expectations for nowadays. But for me, I was like, I saw that today and I was like, holy shit, how did that happen? When did that happen, man?
Right.
Okay. Oh yeah, I need to actually share screen on here. So because it's not displaying it. Window capture. So here's this one. There's the character sheet. And then I will also do under here. I need to do another window capture. I probably should have set this up beforehand, but you know. Okay. Whoa, stop doing that. Okay, and then... Oh, why can't I see that? I want the character sheet to also be on display. There we go. There.
Woo!
There we go.
There it is.
I never really messed around with like dual screens like this before. I think there's a way to set it up so that you have like actual dual screens, but I'm not gonna fuck around and worry about that right now. Okay, so character creation. First things first. So leveling. Here's my character. And then we'll go over here. Leveling explained. So I will move this over to the side. Is it not displaying it? Oh, I know why. Because it's there we go. Because it was a separate pop-up window. So we are not going to do that.
Separate window.
You know what? Actually, for the character sheet, I'm going to do the same thing. Then I don't have to have 2 captures going.
Just make it
There.
inside the
Yeah.
actual page.
Yeah, it'll be just on the one page.
That's smart.
Yeah. I don't usually do this, but whatever, it'll be fine. Like when I'm using Roll20, I don't normally do this. Let's see, minimize my chat a bit because it keeps getting in the way. And then this one I
Working
don't
on doing the
yeah.
4 sets. I have 2 Battle Mage sets on here. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm going through this because I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Well, Battle Master set, that's why.
Yeah. Okay, so first things first, going to give some attribute points at level 1 to my character. So let me see. Gear, scaling, weapon art, upgrades, augments, armor info. Do you have actual pieces of armor to equip, Val?
Yes, if you go to armor
Under
towards the bottom, armor sets
weapons,
all.
shields, physical range, ashes 4. Okay, here we go.
You gotta keep scrolling down. You'll see all
I
the
found
armor
it.
that's there.
Ah, found it. I just had to look a bit. Okay, so do these have strength requirements or anything like that? It doesn't look like it.
Armor for no. I'm not gonna do that for armor.
Okay.
I don't think it is in Elder Scrolls. Not Elder Scrolls. What am I saying? Elder Scrolls. Elden Ring.
Yes and no. It depends on your endurance, right? In Elden Ring, the higher your endurance, the heavier the armor, the more things you can equip without being over encumbered or doing fat rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's based off weight instead of requiring a specific strength to equip it or whatever. I know I think it's 5th edition, you need a minimum strength score to wear like medium and heavy armor without being, or maybe it's just heavy armor without being like having your speed reduced a certain even more, etc. But that's not here, obviously. So first things first, since that's not something we need to worry about right now, close that. We'll go to weapons. We'll base our starting stats on the weapons. So, weapons. I'm going to pick great swords because I'm a great sword lover.
Woo!
Ooh! Why won't it? Holy, what the hell? Come on. Okay, whatever. So, what should we go with? So, there's Bastard Sword, requires 20 strength, 14 dex. It's 3d6 damage. So, looking at the scaling, I'm assuming that the difference between weaponry of the same type is based on the scaling, right? Like, it's gonna...
And also depend, obviously early weapons are not going to be as good as later weapons.
Yeah.
Example of the Bastard Sword to the Claymore. I guess they're kind of the same, except the scalings are swapped. So you want to be more of a dex greatsword user compared to the other.
So, okay,
but the damage, damage increases if you go against like Royal Knights, where you can get their weapon to drop because they're a bit better, and so forth, so forth. And then if you look at weapon leveling, it'll explain at what intervals weapons can increase. So if it's C, I think I set... Yeah, so it would be what C goes to B, goes to A, goes to S. So anything that's C scaling, max level will hit S. So if it's D, max level will be A. So forth, so forth.
Oh, okay.
If you level the weapon all the way up, I'm probably going to stick with 15. All the way up to 15 will give
plus
you
15, regardless whether it's like a unique weapon like a blasphemous blade or a regular bastard sword.
Yeah, I hated in Elden Ring how you were kind of forced to find multiple different types of standard ore to upgrade. It was so annoying. So I'm just going to do single ore at that level. So level 1 upgrade to level 1, level 2 but upgrade at level 2, so forth, so forth. That's going to be the same way for special weapons. I haven't really thought of like what type of ore I want to use yet. But...
I like this ancient blade.
Yeah, it's gonna be, that's kind of like the Banished Knight set. It's gonna be the ancient set.
Yeah, I like that. So I think I'm gonna go with the ancient blade. So I'm gonna 16. That's only 12 points. That would leave me with 8 points for hit points. So I could go 16, 16, 18, 12. Yeah.
You could also two-hand it for 1.5 too, whatever.
To get 1.5 damage, right?
No, so if you do 16 divided by
Oh yeah. Or times
0.5, yeah.
Or times points. It multiplied by 0.75 because it's 75% of the stat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 16 times 0.75. I would only need 12.
13.
12.
Or 12, yeah.
Yeah. I could, but that would mean I could only wield it
two-handed.
Two-handed, yeah. And I don't know if I'd want to do that.
I also gotta look at some of the weapon scalings, because the weapon scaling that's lower than that of like a bastard sword.
Yeah, 2 Cs.
And also the strength requirement and dexterity requirement is low. Well, I guess dexterity is higher than the other ones too, though. So it drops 2, adds 2. So they're equal.
Is there a buckler? Oh yeah, there is. +5 bonus when parrying with this tool comes equipped with the parry skill. So here's a question. If I one-hand the Ancient Blade, is it going to do 3d8 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll still do 3d8 damage, yeah.
Because I know in Elden Ring, if you two-hand a weapon, you actually do more damage.
A little bit more. Did I write something for that?
I don't think... Let me see. Skills, status, gear, weight, player's turn, weapon leveling, attributes. Because I know under attributes, it doesn't necessarily tell you.
I think I decided, there was a reason why I didn't put it. I'm pretty sure I decided not to do that.
Yeah, because if it was...
Because it would end up scaling too hard against dexterity, and dexterity, like, why would you ever pick a dexterity weapon?
I mean, why do you ever pick a dexterity weapon in Elden Ring or Dark Souls, right? Despite that. So let's see. So it'd be, what, 3d8 for the Ancient Blade. Yeah, 3d8. Where's my calculator? So 3d8, 3 times 8. It's 24 max damage if you got a max roll. Times 0.15, is that correct? 3.6? No, that can't be right. 24 times 1.5. So that's up to 36 damage if it's two-handed. I mean, it is a big weapon. That makes sense to me. But we'll just go with one-handed for now. Because I think what I might do is go buckler and the greatsword. With a buckler, here's another question. Because bucklers are small, would I be able to two-hand my sword without penalty because it's a buckler compared to a regular shield?
No, buckler still requires a hand still.
Can't bucklers be strapped to your arm? No?
I'm just going based off of Dark Soul analogy there to make it simple.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if it's in your if it's an item in your other hand, you got to use it in your other hand unless it's, you know.
Okay, so now in terms of for parrying, let me see. Is that in here anywhere?
Skills
to look up parrying. Okay,
I'll pop that up for you.
Thank you. There's a lot of stuff we're kind of going through here. Parry. You may parry once per round as a free action. Should the parry roll exceed the enemy's incoming melee attack, you instead negate the damage completely and are allowed a free single attack, i.e. an opportunity attack, at 2 times the normal damage you would deal. Most attacks cannot be parried. Most attacks. So what attacks can be parried?
Anything that is not, like, for example, ranged. Unless there's a special ability that allows you to parry ranged stuff, like spells. There is going to be stuff in there that allows you. And colossal weapons. And there will be some bosses where, kind of like in most Dark Souls game, where their version of, like, their great axe looks like a colossal. It will be a colossal weapon to you, or vice versa, right? So there'll be some enemies, especially really large enemies, that will be kind of immune to that. The skill, which is kind of like your hint skill, is going to be knowledge in general, so you'll be able to, like, assess the battle situation, be like, will parry work in this situation? And that'll be kind of like your freebie to be like, you know, you're assessing the battle, right? You're assessing your enemy.
Okay, so I'm trying to think here. Can you parry with a weapon if you don't have a shield on? Like, can you use the weapon to parry?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So
That's
if you
good.
go to
You just don't get
Ashes
the
of War,
bonus from.
yeah.
Oh, you need to have it as an Ash of War. Like, you can't just do it as a skill if you have the skill.
If it says it already has a skill on it, then you're good to go. If not, you actually have to put the Ash of War on it.
Oh.
So for there's 3 different parries: parry, temporal parry, spell parry. Normal parry doesn't use any FP, of course, and you're allowed to use up to 2 Ashes of War on an item, so it's not that bad.
Okay, so let me look at the character sheet here.
So daggers, thrusting
Oops.
swords, normal swords, curved swords, light shields, and medium shields can vary. So I increased the repertoire a little bit because normally you can't really do it with swords. I think only rapiers and thrusting swords they were allowed to. I think they're in Elden Ring. I don't remember.
Sorry, say that again. That last part.
For parrying, daggers, thrusting swords, curved swords, light shields, medium shields, normal swords are allowed to parry. So I increased the amount you could do.
Okay, so next I'm going to look at some Ashes of War. See, disengage, repeating, deterrence, rain of arrows, ricochet, aim shot, compound shot, quick step, bloodhound step, uses FP. I should look up here. So we got the name, the ability, the MP, the stamina, and the weapons that they're equipped on, that they can be equipped on. So, quick step. Use FP and stamina in place of your dodge action. If done so, you may move 5 feet in a target direction of your choice after a successful dodge. Oh, so you have to successfully dodge first? You can't just quick step?
Yeah, so if you try to, quick step in the actual game and you get hit, you obviously get staggered before you can even quick step it, usually.
Oh.
So essentially what the dodge skill is going to be is, are you able to dodge before you get hit, not so much as after the hit.
Well, what if I try and quick step and parry at the same time? How does that function together?
So if you're using that as an evasive action, you're allowed to dodge 3 times. You're allowed to block 3 times. You're allowed to parry 1 time within a given round. So I guess you would try to parry first and then dodge after. So how a turn would normally go is, I'm going to declare this enemy is about to attack you. Are you going to use an evasive action? What are you going to do? Be like, yes. So you go ahead and roll your dodge, and I'll go ahead and roll my attack, and then we proceed from there.
So my question, because I know offline we've had chats about like stamina usage and stuff. Mm-hmm. If I have stamina to do multiple dodges or whatever, I can't do that. You're limiting it to just 3. Like, yes. If I had all, what if I was like, I completely hold my turn so that if people try to attack me, I'm just going to attempt to dodge, because they don't like
the entire time.
How much does dodging take for stamina?
It's based off of your gear. So if you go to Gear Explained, where is it at? Show the players. Oh, it's Weight Explained. I'm sorry, Weight Explained. This one here.
Okay.
Light is 10%, medium is 20%, heavy is 30%.
20% stamina. So even if I had, because just so people understand, stamina is a percent bar, essentially 0 to 100 points or percentage, and every action you take takes up the stamina or even your FP, right? Your mana pool, essentially, to use them. So what you're saying is, if I understand correctly, if I don't do anything that would require stamina, and I could dodge 5 times, I'm still only limited to 3, even though I have the stamina for that?
Yeah, I'm going to limit it there.
Why? That would be a question.
I want to see how it plays out first. I mean, it's hard until we actually test it, right? So what's going to stop an enemy from just spamming dodge the entire time to prevent you? Elongates combat.
I mean, it still requires an attack roll, right? Like your dodge roll it's an opposed check.
I'm also tying it into time as well. Makes it a little bit more dangerous, because if you're successfully always dodging, always blocking, you'll probably never get hit. And that's kind of like, the concept too, which is fine. But I also want to make it dangerous. Well, in a given amount of time, realistically, how many times can you dodge and attack and parry and block in a given amount of
Yeah,
time?
that's why I'm asked. Like
And that's why
my
I'm kind of settled on the number 3, essentially, because that's 30% of your stamina minimum, or 60%, or 90% your stamina, depending on how much armor you have, which is quite a bit of stamina.
I mean, because
And
if
that's
I
not
went
counting
medium armor, right?
blocking.
Medium armor, it looks like is
Mhm.
probably going to be the, let's say like the sweet spot for the most part,
Yep, that's
where it's
20%, which is
yeah
quite a bit.
for
Unless you
one.
pick up quick step, yeah,
Well, because then yeah, quick step is
it's 10%.
so instead of it being 20%, it reduces it to 10% because you're using the skill.
If you're using it as a skill and use the FP alongside it, yeah. So we use FP and stamina. So it'll be 10% FP, 10% stamina, instead of just 20% stamina.
So then again, my question is, if I use the skill quick step or bloodhound step, which is the same but it's like a better version, it's 10 feet instead of 5 feet, and then
Mhm.
temporal step uses a lot of FP and stamina to teleport as a movement, standard or dodge action. This ability will move you up to 30 feet in a target direction of your choice. It's kind of like Misty Step in
Yeah, pretty
um,
much.
so again, would I only be able to use this 3 times because it requires a successful dodge or whatever as part of it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Takes place of your dodge action, yeah.
because I mean my confusion is it's a skill and not like a base you know what I mean? Like it's a skill that you have access to and not a base mechanic like dodging.
You can use it outside of dodging if you want to like use it for movement or
But it
for whatever
specifies
reason.
that it requires a dodge. That's the issue.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, I can word it where closer to temporal step, where you can use it as movement, or you can use it as standard action. You can use it however you like.
Yeah, because I personally I think like so then you still have your dodge, which is a regular dodge, like let's say the dodge roll, which is its own thing, and then the skill quick step or bloodhound step in Elden Ring are a other thing that use FP and stamina, but to different degrees than just your regular dodge roll. Like they're separate things, right? There's the skill use, and then there's your regular dodge roll or whatever.
Yeah, I would like to test stuff first before I just throttle it and just let you have the full reign of dodging like that. It's something I would really like to test before I just say yes.
Okay. So in terms of let's go stats here, skills. Let's look at the skills. So block concerns the total block value. You may block each turn as a free action as long as you're not grappled or prone and have the required stamina. These attacks include magic projectiles, melee strikes, and range strikes. If the block roll meets or exceeds the oncoming attack, the attack is instead reduced by the amount of the shield absorption value. Some shields and weapons have higher or lower absorption. Yeah. This skill scales exclusively with strength. Stamina cost of blocking depends on tool use. Parry. Da-da-da. So yeah, the parry definitely seems like the better thing to use than block, because you
Yeah.
effectively get the crit
Well,
hit.
if you get like a heavy shield, that's only 10 stamina to block. If you get the 100%, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already a strength build, that's what you probably want to go with.
Okay, wait. So how many times can you block? Is it based on how much stamina you have, or are you limited to once?
Or did I remove that?
Like
In
I'm
here, I
reading
don't.
it. Concerns the total block value because this based off what you said, like regarding dodging, right? Because it's if so parrying, you can parry once per turn, but blocking you have like it seems like you have unlimited blocking.
So I guess I removed it from dodge as well, according to this. Concerns the ability evasion, you may dodge as fraction by future roll, make the answer depending on weight. Yeah, so I guess I removed the amount of times you can do it. So technically, yeah, you can dodge as block as much as you want.
Yeah.
I
See,
must have already tested that.
that makes sense to me, right? Because it's like, well, you're using your stamina. Do you want to? We discussed that before offline. I remember. Is
That's
Well,
probably when I removed it. Yeah.
yeah, because you're
That's
like,
probably when
it's up to you as a player or the DM, right? The person running the game for your creatures or whatever, the enemies for the players, to determine, well, how much of your resources do you want to use on your turn? Because you also have to think in between your turns and leading up to your next turn, what may happen, right? So then it's like, do you want to go all out, like fucking adrenaline, just warrior junkie and waste all your shit, and then you're standing there, you can't block, you can't parry, you can't dodge any hits that come in, that's on you, right?
True.
I think that makes sense because it gives players a bit more agency over their control of their character or whatever, right? Okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to think of what I think I would probably go quick step to start, just because that's simple. It's 5 feet in one direction. Are we using a mechanic similar to for when opportunity attacks occur? Is that a thing, Val?
So it's gonna be like kind of random warrior scorn, where if you're leaving an enemy's threatened square,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay, so I'm just my automatic assumption for opportunity attacks is like that. So for anybody that may not know what we're talking about, an opportunity attack is in base Pathfinder, which is dumb, both when you move into and out of a threatened target. Oh, and move within a target's threatened squares. So the radius that they can reach 5 feet, 10 feet, etc., based on the size of the creature or enemy, the weapons you're wielding, etc. Instead, the way we do it is you can move within a target's, stay within their attack range, moving freely without having to worry about provoking an attack of opportunity from that target. But if you step out of the reach, so go from 5 feet within the reach to 10 feet, then they get an opportunity attack. However, with quick step and dodging and things like that, that could alleviate that by allowing you to attempt to move away and have a better success chance of not getting hit because of the use of the skill. So what would be the, if done so you may, so this is tied to dodge. So if you dodge as part of quick step, Val, I guess here's a question that's different. Let me see. Dodge concerns the movement and evasion of incoming attacks. You may dodge as free action, providing you have the required stamina. Should your roll meet or exceed the attacker's roll, you instead evade the damage. Depending on your weight and items, determine amount of stamina used when dodging. Refer to Weight Explained for more information on dodging. Okay, cool. But quick step and dodging, they kind of seem like the same thing. You know what I mean?
They are the same thing, except you're just using FP instead
Well,
of more.
what is the benefit of having the skill on the quick step skill?
So if you're wearing heavy armor and you want to actually move in a direction and have a reduced cost of stamina, you'd pick up quick step essentially.
So quick step, no matter what your armor you're wearing, you would say, I'm going to use the
Yes.
skills quick step, and it's only going to cost 10% instead of whatever it would be based on the weight,
Correct.
right? So heavy.
Even medium, you don't get movement with your dodge. You just dodge it in place, right? You get quick step, you're able to move with it too. Because medium you can't. Only light armor you can.
So
Move and
dodge
dodge.
effectively is dodge or parry. Those are you standing in that one square in place, right?
Correct.
Okay.
As well as block, yes.
And
yes.
quick step allows you to do those things, but while shifting. I'm just going to use the word shift. You shift from one space to another. That seems easier to say to me. Okay, that makes sense.
Since it's considered a dodge action.
Yeah.
You're not really provoking attacks of opportunity because you're kind of leaving that square. You're dodging. You're evading essentially.
So evade, dodge, just evades. Block. You're not grappled. Some shields and weapons. If the block roll meets or exceeds the oncoming attack, the attack is instead reduced by the amount of the shield absorption value. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what the difference is. Parry. So parry. What does parry cost for stamina?
It'll tell you on the buckler there.
Oh, well, I'm thinking of if I don't have a buckler. I'm thinking because you said I could parry with the sword.
For parry, it's going to be based off your weapon itself.
Yeah.
So your swing, your weapon, so the same stamina cost as your weapon.
Okay, so as just making an attack. So it's like the shield
Yeah.
stamina cost or the weapon stamina cost.
Correct.
Okay.
To make it easy, I'm not going to put different types of stamina uses just for
Mhm.
you. It would make sense of like a heavy ass weapon. If you successfully parry that, you're still using the same amount of stamina to swing and then uppercut somebody, for example.
Yeah. Okay, so based on this, I think, and you said I could have 2 skills on the weapon, 2 Ashes of War.
Yep. Unless you have the armor set that gives you 3.
There's an armor set that does that? What? What armor?
I'm still working on the armor. I'm updating it after our last conversation, but yeah, there's an armor set that does that. There's also an armor set that reduces the cost, that increases the base damage of Ashes of War by +10. That has a damage.
Plus 5 damage to melee weapons when at least 2 pieces are worn. Forlorn Knight, plus 10 to physical resistance when at least 2 pieces. Plus 10 physical resistance sounds pretty good. Plus 10 to sleep resistance, curse. Restore 5 stamina when an enemy is defeated when at least 2 pieces are worn.
Yeah, I gotta change all those.
Oh, you're changing them. Okay.
I'm fixing a lot of these, giving it a 2 set and a 4 set bonus, but stuff like that when an enemy is defeated, 5 stamina. So if you end up, killing an enemy, you get 5 stamina back. That's probably enough to maybe block or dodge or something. Like every little bit matters.
Yeah.
Or if you just fucking annihilate somebody in one hit, it's like, cool. Well, I'm just gonna go to the next person, and the next person, and the next person.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like cleave, right? It's like, oh, I killed that guy in the middle of my turn. I'm going to make another attack. Because that's another thing for anybody that watches this in the future. The number of attacks you can make is not the same as in like D&D 5th edition or even Pathfinder. It's based off of how much stamina you currently have and the cost of actions like swinging the weapon to attack, to parry, to dodge, or dodging. Like, that's what determines. So you could like run up, make a couple attacks, and then say you provoke an opportunity attack. Well, now you're going to have to expend stamina, perhaps even FP, depending on if you're using a skill or not, to deflect, like to dodge, parry, or quick step or whatever that ability. Yeah. So parry, just to be clear, it's not something you can do normally. You have to have it as a skill, right? Like on a weapon or a shield?
Yeah, unless it states it has the parry ability on there. And I think I might go through all the light shields and just manually add all light shields to have parry, I think.
Royal Knight set.
Actually, yeah, all the light shields already comes with parry, so... Because that's kind of what they're for. I mean, God forbid you pick up, like, the really good one. What's the really good one? The 65% block? That's fucking awesome.
Let's see, wait. So to be medium... is 16 to 35. Okay. So I think I'm going to go with the... What the hell was that sword called? Let me find it here. Weapons, all great swords. Yeah, the ancient...
The ancient one.
I have just so many things on here.
I guess if people really want to, they can actually attack with shields too. That'd be kind of...
Yeah, basically fun. It's like you shield bash, right?
Yeah.
Skills. And which one's this? Character advancement. And light shields. So I don't think I'm going to worry about shields right now.
I haven't added a block modifier to weapons yet, so that's something I need to work on. But I'll eventually add it.
And then weapons. Okay. Okay, cool. So pull up my character sheet again here. So on here, I'm going to put, because the weapon requires... Ancient Blade requires 16 strength and 16 dex. I might want to wield it one-handed every once in a while. So I think I'm just going to go 16 strength, 16 dex. 16, and 16. And then because I have level 1 character, I have 20 attributes. So that leaves me, that's 6, 12, and 8. I'm going to put the others into Constitution. So that's pretty good. Now, in terms of modifiers, it's still the same as in Pathfinder based on the character sheet, I assume?
Right? Yeah, so your actual attack is going to be your strength plus your dex modifier.
Oh, both of
the
them?
actual attack. Yep, both of them.
Oh, because it scales off of both, right?
Not just because it's going to be for everything, essentially.
But I'm assuming
the actual...
What makes sense is because you have scaling off of multiple stats at once.
Yep, the scale, that too. But the scaling portion, it's going to be based off the raw score.
Okay.
Not the modifier. So say you have a C and your what is C again? Gear explained, weapons. Yeah, so C is 40% weapon scaling. So 40% of whatever your strength modifier is and your dex modifier is bonus damage. So what do you have for your strength and dex? 16?
16 each, yeah.
So 40%, yeah, so 16 times 0.4 equals 6.4. We're going to round up for player advantage, so you're dealing 14 additional points of damage with that weapon.
Constitution. Sorry, is that if I two-hand it or just generally?
That's regardless. That's regardless.
I grabbed my deck two-handed.
What?
He's streaming right now.
I can't hear what he's saying. I have to turn his
You don't want to know.
quiet ass up.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't say it super loud. Children.
You're live, Mike, on YouTube. Live on YouTube.
What?
Yeah, I'm streaming on YouTube right now, bro.
Well, I guess you can go back and live that part over a hot cocoa and be like, yeah, I was there, but I didn't hear that. I was
there. Great source.
Yeah, but you get whatever letter scaling it is, you add the score modifiers together. And that's just bonus damage. As long as you meet the prerequisites to wield that weapon. Just like in the Elder Scroll game.
Okay.
Elder Scroll.
You know what? I figured out a solution to all these tabs being open. I'm just minimizing them. There we go. That makes sense. Because in this way, at least, I can freaking... Okay, sorry. So, where is this under so I can read it? Stats, attributes, in terms of damage, you said?
Yeah, so I believe it's...
For scaling.
Yeah, it was under attributes, yep. And I believe... Oh no, that is player turn explained I had it under. Attacking and casting on your turn. I'll pop that up for you. On your turn, you may attack or cast spells equal to amount of stamina and mana points allotted. Weapon attack rating is equal to strength plus dex mod.
Okay. And then...
And I'm probably going to set that up for casting is going to be just intelligence or just wisdom. Might do both, I'm not sure yet. But I haven't touched casting yet. I just have bare spells. Not spells, just bare spells. What are you up to, Mike? How you been, man?
Nothing, man. Just tired. Last couple days and busy.
Yeah.
Yesterday was Mother's Day, and today was really busy, and it's hot and fucking sulky here. And... Tired, man. Tired.